In this video there is a special prize free Death Star giveaway entry. There's some words of caution and my wisdom in relation to the hunt for the Lego Mr.Gold minifigure. It seems there's some very silly stuff going down at the moment around the Lego Mr.Gold, and I see there are alternative versions of him getting about, but are they legal? Anyway, let's snap to it. Okay, on screen there is obviously two boxes of Lego minifigures. There are 60 minifigures in each box. That is Series 9. That one is Series 10. Each of those boxes cost me $300 in Australia. So that's $600 worth of Lego on the table. I only purchased this box of Series 10 minifigures because I had an avalanche of people asking me about this single minifigure called Mr.Gold. And it's actually quite interesting. In just purchasing this box revealed to me some very unusual activity. Well, I purchased Series 8 as a whole box, I purchased Series 9 as a whole box, and I purchased Series 10 of course as a whole box. And when I purchased Series 8 and 9, they actually came out to me from the shop stores with another box around it. It was like a shipping carton that Lego did. But most importantly, when they came out of that box, they had these seals on the box, and these are like tamper evident seals. If you start to try and open this box, it'll either rip there, or if you try and take the sticker off, it's very evident. The YouTuber Race Grooves did a video about this in relation to some boxes of Series 10 that he purchased on eBay, and the scam that's going on. Basically, people are bulk buying, boxes of Series 10, rattling through them looking for Mr.Gold, and then trying to flog them off as sealed units. Now, of course, I was starting to hear some stories, and I thought, well, I've got to go and try and buy a Series 10 box just to see how it comes out of the shop. But I thought maybe I can get a box which has not been tampered with. But it didn't happen like that. Let's take a look. There's a lot of emotion tied up with this series of minifigures, and I'm going to talk about the word emotion a little bit later on. It's a very important word to get your head around and to try and control your emotions when you get involved in trying to hunt down something, and use your brain instead of letting your emotions take over. Well, the first thing is, this came out of the store or the shop. It had been opened. Obviously cut there. Let's look at the other seal. Cut there, but not only that, I don't know, the box just looked grubby. It looked like it's been through a bit. It's some grub there. Hope you can see that. It's grubby there, and I've just left it as it is. And I think when I opened it up was another sign that it had been rattled through. There are all the minifigures in there, and then I noticed up the corner here there's a whole stack of them put in upside down. Now, I've only opened, one before, number 9 never opened, but has anyone ever seen them put in upside down from the factory? That's a bit of a curious one to me. But I think just a general look of being ratted through is a sign that someone has been through this box before I have. And I think I'll throw up some other video of all the shops that I go to, and I'll just show you the state the Lego minifigures are in. And it's pretty obvious that there's a whole bunch of, what would you call it, crazed searches for Mr.Gold. The boxes are all over the place. The Lego minifigures have been, spread out in some places all over the shelves. The bags have been annihilated by finger feels. It's quite astonishing to see, and really the more I looked, the more amazed I was at seeing what was going on. And it had me doing some web searching and talking to other YouTubers, and it ended up having me buy this box. And when I found that I couldn't get a box, I couldn't obtain a box which had its seals intact, I thought, right, maybe it's time for a video. One really nice thing about the gold bags is you can easily see the dimple codes which are on the bottom of the bags, but don't ever think that they're a true indication of what's inside the bag. I've seen it a few times when the dimple code is actually different to what you find inside the bag, and I think you'll find there's some other people out there who've seen the same. It doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. And people are saying, there's all the endless videos on YouTube, oh, how to find Mr.Gold, and then you got these really basic things, oh, finger feel, oh, dimple code, and other strange things. Oh, look on eBay. Well, good luck looking on eBay, and get ready to cash out minimum $500 from what I can see at the time of making this video. It's absolutely gone berserk, the prices people pay for this one little tiny minifigure. The other very interesting part about this purchase, apart from it being a box that was not sealed and someone had ratted through it before me, was the fact that the barcode had been struck out. I don't want to discuss the exact way you can walk out of these stores and only pay for one minifigure, but it had been a problem in the store that I picked this up at, And then they accused me. They said, oh, you know, you're going to walk out of the store and only pay for one minifigure, aren't you? And you get the whole box for $5. That's the price of a single minifigure where I live, $5. And I said, no. I said, look, if you've got an issue with me, please go and see the manager. As soon as he sees me, he'll know who I am. I come in here every week. And I was not at all impressed with some of the innuendo and accusations that were said when I went to buy a whole box of minifigures. In the end, I did have a chat to the store manager I know oh so well, and he knows me because I buy all the toys from his store. And I told him about what's going on and the craziness that's going on in the hunt to find the single minifigure. And I said, you know, potentially in your store you've got people out the back, they're not stocking the shelves or they're not doing the things for your shop. What they're doing is going through and looking for stuff to line their own pockets. And I feel that's wrong. Very, very wrong. But I bet you that's just the very tip of the iceberg when it comes to people scamming and finding Mr. Gold. And I think what would have been a much nicer way to do this, and much fairer to the real LEGO fans, without causing an absolute frenzy and stupid activity of people trying to find one minifigure, let's just say you have it as a mail back. You mail back, I don't know, 16 bags or so, I don't know if there's 16 there, but have it that the real McCoy, you know, people buying this, mail back to LEGO whatever number of bags, and they go into a draw for the exclusive and only 5,000 of Mr. Gold. I think that would have been a much nicer way to do this without seeing all of the crazy and very unfair activity that I'm seeing going on. And to get back to the core question I was asked, you know, someone very simply said to me, well, Leo, if I go and buy a whole box of minifigures, surely I'll get a Mr. Gold in there. Well, sadly that's not the case because it's a numbers game. Basically it's a form of gambling. There's 5,000 of these, but we don't know how many of these cartons are shipped. You need to know that number because then you start to understand the ratio or your chances of finding a Mr. Gold. Now, I don't know how many people have gone out and bought, you know, multiple cases. We can see there are people buying full cases, going through them and selling them on eBay afterwards, saying, you know, oh, if you buy this case you might get Mr. Gold. Well, that's a scam, guys, I'm sorry to say. I've already witnessed that I can't get a box from my local store without it being, you know, gone through. And every box in the department store has been ratted through as well. So, well, here's my advice. I better get to the advice because I think you guys need to know some little facts of life here. My first bit of advice is when you're in the shops and you see these toys for sale, take out of your head the fact that this person is in their box and just enjoy buying these as you normally would. Do not get caught up in the thought that you will get Mr. Gold. My second bit of advice is if you do buy one of these boxes on eBay or from whoever and they tell you it's a sealed carton and it turns up to you and these have been tampered with or replaced or it's been opened underneath of the box, just send it straight back to them and make sure you let them know that you're not a happy customer. Advice bit number 3. If you are a person who is thinking of purchasing a Mr. Gold on eBay, make sure it's in a sealed plastic bag, make sure it's a real McCoy, but just wait. Don't do it now. Wait till more Mr. Golds appear on the market and that should bring the price down. That's the way things work. When there's more things about, the price comes down. If you are a person who owns Mr. Gold and you're selling them on eBay, never say you've got more than one. You always say, I've only got one. I've already seen some people saying, I've got 3, I've got 4 of these. Bang, straight away, you're losing money. Advice number 4, it's so simple, go and buy a minifigure. Go and buy some gold paint and make your own Mr. Gold. Advice bit number 5, go and do your homework, go and research how much Mr. Gold is going for. I see on eBay, here's one here, 3 bids, $600. You thought $600 was expensive? Well, some people trying it on for $1,600. Thank God for the free shipping. And as a continuation of advice bit number 5, understand there are some people doing some little customs of this figure. Some are fairly rough, some are actually very good looking, and from what I can see, some of these little custom minifigures that people are making don't look too bad at all. These little custom minifigures are fairly popular, and look at the number of bids versus the price. Well, there's 4 days left in this auction. I can see 42 bids, and the price is $51 and climbing. Advice number 6. Understand the market. People trying to sell well above the market price have failed auctions. Obviously the temptation to try it on is far too great for some people. People selling at good market prices are selling these Mr.Gold minifigures. As I make this video, they're selling for between $550 to $600, and this price is fluid, it is changing all the time. Be very wary of scam auctions stating that the bag has either Mr.Gold or another minifigure. These sellers are quoting bag weights as an association to Mr.Gold. These people are playing games. Mr.Gold has a fairly defined top hat. He'd be pretty easy to find via a finger feel. If a seller can't show the actual Mr.Gold minifigure, well, the auction should not even claim that there's a chance that the minifigure in the bag is Mr.Gold. Now think to yourself, as if an eBay seller would let Mr.Gold go for a couple of dollars. And I'll have to say, it's really sad to see so much greedy scamming surrounding the Series 10 LEGO minifigures. And finally, what I see going on eBay, you've just got to be really careful looking for the Mr.Gold minifigures there. A lot of, naughty people doing stuff at the moment. So it's buyer beware, as always on eBay. So if you are going to try and go in and get little minifigures and you're thinking you're going to get Mr.Gold, well, sadly, you've got to strip away your emotions. And that's just general life advice. If you're coming in to buy a house, you've got to buy it and strip away the emotions, because what emotions do is they'll make you do something that you normally don't do. And that's something that the person who's selling the item is banking on. The toy companies are banking on this, LEGO is banking on this, LEGO is banking on the fact that you're going to spend far more money in the search for Mr. Gold than you really need to. My advice to you is, well, all the things I've just said. So if you want to take my advice, do so. If you want to ignore it, go right ahead. Well, that quite amazing LEGO set will be given away right now. I didn't build this set, I didn't make a video about that set, and the set goes to a person called Lego Small Potato. Yay! Good on you, Small Potato. And the reason why he's getting that LEGO set is very simple. He was the first person to enter the Star Wars Death Star giveaway, the one between me and the Beanmeister. I keep telling you people, the Beanmeister and me have gone crazy. I looked through Lego Small Potato's channel and it was very interesting, and I saw a review for this Star Trek set there, that Creo Star Trek set, and what made me quite curious was the price. I very much enjoyed watching Lego Small Potato's video about this set, but what I'd like to do is show you how much this set is in Australia. People in the USA are telling me this is a $50 set. Well, let's take a look at Target Australia. Well, Target are lucky people, they have just dropped the price down to $99. But do you know what the kickoff price was? Can you guess? Underneath the $99 you can see a figure 129. $129 was that Creo set when it kicked off in Australia. That is totally outlandish. Remember we were just talking about emotions? Well, those who went and bought that Star Trek set in Australia for $129 made an emotional purchase. They wanted that set. They paid the premium price. If you hold out, you'll watch that set, it'll come down, and I'll bet you it'll hit the USA price. I'm sort of thinking just after Christmas. That's if they're still around. That's the gamble. Do you grab it now, or do you take the gamble, the fact that it might be there at a much cheaper price? It seems to be fairly popular. I think at $99 in Australia, it's still too high. That's my own personal thought. Well, there you go, Lego Small Potato. How about that? Thank you for being the first to jump onto the Beanmeister 22 and Leo Kim video Death Star giveaway. And what I'd like you to do is make the set and do a review on it, please. I can see you do some very good reviews. And just on the pod races, I thought it was one of the highlights of episode 1. I hated Jar Jar Binks, but because I'm in the jet engines and everything, the pod races to me were very cool. There's also some very, very good CGI used in those scenes as well. Very impressive. It had me searching for another job actually. Anyway, well done in winning that, and it's bye for now. Okay, comes in. He lights it up. Light it! Woohoo! Ooh.